Hi everyone, I'm Sarah. I'm a second year PEDS ID fellow at Children's Hospital Colorado. Today I'm going to take you and we're going to follow our inpatient infectious disease team around and see what a typical day is like. So it's almost 7:30. I'm about to head into the hospital and meet up with the team. I'm in the fellow's office. This is where we spend most of our time. I'm here with Hi, who's our first year, who's on service right now, and we're just pre-rounding on our patients before we get started. So while I was walking around the hall, I found Donna, our program director, so we stopped in her office and we're going to talk to her.
I've now been program director for a little over 4 years, and I think what drew me here as a fellow and kept me here as a faculty is just that I think Children's Hospital and the University of Colorado is a pretty special place to work in terms of training, and I also think this goes into your experience as a faculty. It is just an incredibly diverse patient population. We are the only major sort of level 4 pediatric hospital here in Denver, in Colorado, and we serve all of Colorado as well as a multi-state, we say a 7-state region. So we have sort of all of the unique, interesting, complicated infectious disease cases from Colorado and from several surrounding states. And so you really get exposed to a ton of things, which I think is really amazing for training and really key for training. I always tell my fellows that they do need to study for the boards, but they will have seen everything they need to see to be prepared. And I think the best studying is just really your experience throughout fellowship. And they see a huge variety of patients, everything from like the really, textbook pediatric infectious disease cases with really common textbook organisms and really, otherwise healthy kids, all the way to the super complicated, most complicated fungal infections or polymicrobial infections and super immunocompromised patients. Besides the fact that we really love our fellows, I also am really proud of the amazing fellows that we have here. They are incredibly supportive of each other and are always trying to lift each other up and thinking of each other and very compassionate and friendly towards each other. You don't have to be friends with your co-fellows, but they happen to all be friends, and I think that that's because they're all such wonderful people. So I think coming here and doing fellowship, you join an amazing group of co-fellows as well, hopefully an amazing group of attendings and other colleagues here at Children's Hospital, but also, and probably most importantly, during a fellowship, you join a group of really amazing fellows.
Oh, our fellows are so much fun to work with daily. There's always something new going on, and we get to just chat and have fun along with being at work. And so it's just a really great group of people, and when we bring new fellows in, they seem to just fit right in and gel with the group.
So it's almost 9:30 and I'm on my way to the microbiology lab for micro rounds. And so that's something that's really unique here at Children's is every day we have micro rounds where the inpatient infectious disease teams, the antimicrobial stewardship team, the micro lab, our epidemiology and infection control teams all meet together and hear about any positive cultures overnight, any events that need to be reported. A lot of times we'll have an unknown slide up on the projector to learn about and kind of hear about. So let's head in.
What do you see here on the stain?
Looks like gram-negative rods.
Yes.
Tiffany, can you comment on what you see on the left side of the screen?
Yeah,
there?
so that's kind of the challenging part, and good job, Hi, as not, making that a note. So this is just a part of the gram-negative rods that did not get decolorized, and so it could be tricky for us as a tech, but the majority of the field and based on sources is kind of what we would go from.
What do we see on the plates?
I would say more of a wet, almost gray-white colony, kind of mucoid. Not really growing on the McConkey plate as of now. very distinct smell is coming out of that, so don't put your face down there.
Yes.
Here's my question of the week.
Sure.
Is it Kosiri or Kosiri?
Kosiri.
So right now we're heading up to the ICU to start rounds. It sounds like it's going to be a pretty busy day. We already have 6 new consults. So we just finished talking about our PICU patients and we're about to go see them and talk to the team. We have some really interesting patients, a group A strep bacteremia with osteomyelitis. We also have a patient with necrotizing pancreatitis as well as COVID-19, and then a floridly septic patient who has growing multiple organisms from blood and CSF and from peritoneal fluid. And we also are up to 7 new consults today, so after we see them, we're going to go see some of our other new patients up on the floor.
Oh, being like language?
Yeah.
Okay. I was like, I got Josh to build it.
It's always nice if you get a new glove rather than the one you've been mashing on their whole body with. Push the floor of the mouth. If it's good and soft, that's a good sign. If it's not, if it's woody or indurated. And we definitely see those cases. If you see any of those signs, that's a straight to the ICU. Don't pass go. Don't collect $200. Airway management. And those people can get sick really quickly.
So we're just finishing up our morning rounds. We're seeing MSSA vertebral osteo right now, which is pretty interesting, who's doing much better. We've seen a few of our new patients, a few of our old patients, so we're going to break for lunch, see if we get any more consults over lunch, and we'll get back to rounding in the afternoon. So we're heading back to the PICU to see one of our new consults.
Some of them are smaller, but some of them are like these larger nodules, like that.
While we were rounding, we ran into the antimicrobial stewardship team. So let's say hi and see what they're up to. We have Sarah Parker, who's one of our attendings, and then Christine, who's one of our ID pharmacists. What makes stewardship here at Children's Colorado so special?
So we're a handshake stewardship, so we actually kind of pioneered that technique, and it's very effective, and we actually review all antibiotics every day, and then we actually round in person, and we go to every unit and talk to all the teams.
So we finished in the PICU, and now we are up on the hem-onc floor, and we are seeing some fever and neutropenia patients, some patients with lung nodules, and we don't know why they're there. So we're going to go see them and then talk to the team.
Night sweats, but she was just kind of attributing it to they're not having AC in the house. She's also, per her growth chart, had a 15-pound weight loss since April.
So it's about 4 o'clock. We finished seeing all of our patients. Earlier this afternoon, we got a good chance to get some teaching in from Kevin on recurrent meningitis. So I'm gonna head home. Hi's just finishing up talking to some of the teams and writing her notes. And then she's gonna call me a little bit later to sign out because I'm on call this weekend. So I hope you enjoyed seeing what a typical day is like here at Children's on the ID service.